Welcome to the show, everyone. I am so excited today because you know what? I love my show. You want to know why I love the show so much? Is because of all the information. And today we're really going to be getting an education here, and I really want everybody to listen up. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. My first guest has been on with me several times, and I'm learning so much. Even as she walks in the door, I start learning immediately from her. I have with me Lynette Zang. Lynette is the owner and founder and CEO of Zang Enterprises. Lynette, thank you for being here again. And you know, I've been watching you a lot also on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere, and I love it. And you've been around. I mean, a lot of people know you. I want you to talk though. Every time you come on, we got to start off with a little bit about yourself. And so, because there's a lot of people that are listening that are new and tuning in now that have never heard from you. So I want you to tell a little bit about yourself and what we're going to talk about today. Listen up, everyone.
You know, I have been groomed for this moment in time, and I've been in these markets on some level since 1964, when I was 10 years old. And so I've been a banker, I've been a stockbroker, I studied business finance, and I've been in the gold and silver and the hard asset market, well, forever, but specifically since 2002. So I am a market analyst, and I know how to read the language of the markets, and I pay an awful lot of attention to the central banks.
The other thing that you also pay a lot of attention to, from what I know that I've learned from you so far, is sound money.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you pay attention to the central banks, because what do they have? They have fiat money, and you can't see it, but let's start by playing central bank, because this is how they make their money. They just push a button and they create debt. And you know, I brought this to kind of hammer that point home, because for those that are watching on Facebook and they could see it, we have money guns, right? And every time we hit a recession, what the Federal Reserve does is they grow debt, because that is how money is, fiat money, government money is created in the system. So if you bear with me here, I'm going to take a little breath into this.
I'll talk really quickly, because if you go onto Facebook and you really want to watch us, there's money all over the table here right now. And you can go to Networking Arizona, it's all spelled out, and just put that into Facebook, and you can watch us live in here doing this show now. And you can watch me do this with my money.
I know, it's kind of fun.
And I love it. I can't wait to do it when I get home and put all these in my wallet.
Right. Well, do you know what that is?
You were telling me last time, because it really doesn't mean anything, really, these pieces of paper.
No, actually what this is fiat money. Fiat is government decreed money. It's money because the government says so. But by design, it has inflation baked into it, right? That is the whole point. And that invisible inflation tax means that you work for less and less over time. So you asked me what sound money is. It's really simple. Sound money is physical silver, physical gold that is above all central banks and all governments. They cannot inflate this away. Why? Because they are used, both silver and gold are used in every single sector of the global markets.
Now tell me what you're going to do with the balloon.
Well, you know, what has happened, and this has already happened, and this is really why people need to have sound money. Our money is created from debt. Have any of you out there noticed how much more expensive it is to live today than it was before? Well, there is a debt bubble. That is the largest market. And when the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates to try and tame the inflation that they created by all of this money printing, what they did was they popped
I love it.
They popped the debt bubble. Now, we don't see it quite yet, but you remember how quickly we were noticing the inflation? That's because they popped the debt bubble. It ain't over yet. It's not even marginally over yet.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you what I think is people need to understand, number one, how you work with people. I think that you're probably one of the only ones that I've ever heard to have such a low minimum of what you know. And so, because I think what's with you is what you really want people to understand, get educated, and take their baby steps. It's okay, but to take those steps. That's the most important part. Now, let me tell you what she's doing as a giveaway. So if you call Zang Enterprises at 480-376-7456 and schedule a consultation, when you make a purchase with them, you will earn an extra Zang silver dollar round, and that's a $40 value. So, and I want you to tell them what your minimum is. Listen to this.
That is the minimum, 1 ounce of silver.
So they're not expecting a lot out of you. It's not about that. It's about, let's sit down, let's talk, let's get you educated, and let's get you started on the road to having sound money, because you say, if you do not hold it,
you do not own it.
That's what you
say.
say.
It is just your perception. Like when you make a deposit in the bank, you think, well, that's your money. But I'm sure that some of your viewers and listeners have tried to take some cash out of the bank, and don't they make you feel like a criminal?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're getting a call from the fraud department. Excuse me, you saw my paycheck go into there. Why are you calling me if I want to pull it out? Right? It's not your money. When you make that deposit, you actually have loaned the bank that money, and the minimal itty bitty bit of interest that they pay you on it is for the risk that you're taking by loaning them the money.
How scary is that?
Well, it should be scary. It should be scary because they only have a teeny weeny bit more than 1 penny for every insured deposit. They don't have anything for deposits that are not insured. And we've been slowly moving to this place where they will bail in your deposits in a failing institution, like they did in Cyprus and they did in Ireland and many other places not that long ago.
Well, I want to get this information out. First of all, the phone number to call them, it's 480-376-7456. You can check them out on the website. It's Zang Enterprise. No, it's not. It's LynetteZang.com. Lynette Zang. And by the way, you can also check her out anywhere. You can go to on YouTube. You have tons and tons and tons of videos. I've been also seeing you a lot now on Instagram as well. People do know of you. You have these videos where you can actually, you have them where they can call in and ask questions.
Oh yeah, every Tuesday at noon, Arizona time. You know, and I will stay, yesterday I couldn't answer all the questions. I was on for 3 hours answering questions. But, so we do our best, and then I had an appointment. But yes, I love Tuesdays,
on
my
YouTube,
favorite day.
on Tuesdays, you can go to @the Lynette Zang, and you can check her out there. But she's here with me also every Wednesday right now. Thank you for that. And she's going to be educating the public this way as well. Please go to LynetteZang.com or call them right now. When you call, the giveaway that they're offering, you schedule a consultation, and the consultation is with who?
Well, it's with a strategy specialist that I work with directly, that are specifically trained, and the strategy is based on historic data, things that have happened over 4,800 times every single time. Because is this time different? Probably not.
So you call them at 480-376-7456 and schedule that consultation. And when you make a purchase, you're going to earn an extra Zang silver round. And by the way, their minimum, it's only $1 silver dollar. They're probably the only ones that do that. They want you to get into this and you're on your way to owning sound money. Hold tight. We'll be back in just a minute. I got a little bit tongue-tied, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay,
People know it's live.
yeah, absolutely.
Now you have the rest of it.
That's okay, we'll do that, I don't mind. So, it was so cool what you did, and I want you to work, since we're live still on Facebook, when you're working with people, and that light bulb goes on in their head, how does that feel for you?
Oh my gosh. I have to tell you that by the time I finish my lives, because then that's when I'm really getting to talk to the people, I'm on such a huge high. The energy level is fabulous. Because really what we try and do, and that's even in a consultation, right? We want to meet you where you are and then help you get to where you want to go. So for us, it really is all about education.
Yeah.
Because how many times can you be lied to when you do not know the truth?
Probably 1,000,000 times when you don't know the truth.
Exactly, and the work that I do comes directly, most of it comes directly from the Federal Reserve, the Bank for International Settlements, the International Monetary Fund. So these are the guys that are driving this bus off a cliff, I might add. And you know, my daddy always used to say to me, do what I say and not what I do. And I would say to him, Daddy, that makes no sense to me. And I know it makes him sound less than. He was mostly talking about driving, but that was such a huge education for me because I read their works, I listen to their speeches, and then I watch what they do. When their actions are congruent with their words and their writing, I know they're telling the truth. When they are not, I know they are lying. That's huge.
Well, it just seems like, especially the government, you know, we're being lied to, and we have been
It's their
for so
job.
long that we don't know what truth is, right?
Exactly.
And they do it in a very inconspicuously way, in their own way. For instance, even when we go to the market and you're seeing higher prices, smaller boxes, right?
Yeah, I brought these in as an example for shrinkflation. Same product, same price. This one is 16 ounces. This one is 12 ounces.
And you wouldn't know the difference because you can't tell it when you're looking at it like
Exactly.
that.
Right? Well, if you have them side by side, you can
Yes,
tell.
I can see the
But
difference.
otherwise, it looks exactly the
Right,
same. So if
right.
they take that away, which is the way they make the monetary shift too. Right? And you have to understand, their job is to keep you in the market, so they have to lie to you.
So welcome back, everyone. Now, you know, I want to talk a little bit about the process of what it, you know, is when people call, they're going to get this consultation. What is the process to buy gold and silver with you?
Well, the first thing that we do, number one, we want to meet you where you are and then help you get to where you want to go. So education is a huge part of that. And we give you the links so that you have the ability to do your own due diligence. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about your goals and what you're trying to accomplish and what your current circumstances are and what you have to work with so that whatever choices you make actually support your goals. You don't just buy this or buy that and then fit your goals around that. No. Because there are different kinds of silver and there are different kinds of gold, and it really depends on what you want to accomplish. That's what you would then position into.
Now, a lot of people, when you talk about buying silver and gold, think you have to have a lot of money. But I don't think it's necessarily for you about having a lot of money. It is about taking the steps to start taking the sort of like taking your own life into your own hands and taking care of yourself by having some sound money.
Can we expand that a little bit more, Carol?
Please.
Because actually, you know, if you look at what we're trying to accomplish, you'll see Zang Enterprises supports community and sound money globally. And it is critically important. I have never seen in all my career, and I've been doing this for 60 years, I have never before seen a ripe opportunity to get sound money back in the monetary system.
So this is the time, if any
This is
other
it.
time. Now, I want you to talk a little bit about, also you talk about being prepared, but I want you to talk about a diversified preparedness portfolio and what that is.
Well, what you can accomplish with sound money is a lot of protection, but we also need to come together. So we're going to take a look at we're going to take a look at your current standard of living And then you're gonna put in barterable silver, barterable gold, and cash outside of the bank. Because what happens if the bank says you can't have that money back, right? So you wanna be as independent and self-sufficient as possible. We're also gonna take a look at what wealth you have managed to accumulate so far, like in a 401k, or an IRA, or a 403b, or any of those, or even just a regular brokerage account. And we wanna make sure that you are properly diversified, because they want you to think that diversification would be between stocks and bonds. But it's not, because the only thing you can do is convert it back to this stuff, to their money.
That's their money.
Right, the fiat money. That's not diversified. You need physical gold to appropriately diversify your portfolio.
I also want you to just say really quickly, because a lot of times there's these advertisements on television, and a lot of people will call those 800 numbers. They are very, I think, deceiving. Can you talk a little bit about what it means to have somebody here, obviously physically here to you? I mean, not that they're going to necessarily talk to you in the consultation, but still, your place is here, it's physical. When they take the money, they have it in hand, correct? Or
The physical, yes.
It's
everything that we do is with the physical metal itself. And since legally, you don't own it if you don't hold it, we want you to hold it.
right. So
Right?
this is important too.
Very.
So please do not call those 800 numbers on television, and call somebody here local. She's been doing this for 60 years, and what she wants to do is educate everyone. When you call there, right now their special that they're doing is that when you have a consultation with them, when you make a purchase, you will earn an extra Zang silver round.
That's
and
a 1 ounce round.
That's a 1 ounce, I'll write that down. It's a 1 ounce round, and the phone number to call is 480-376-7456. You can check her out at LynetteZang.com. Keep on going here, so interesting.
It is, because I think that what really kind of goes in the dust, and if you think about what happened in COVID, right? We are so separated, and in the technical realm, everybody's on their phones, they're not communicating anymore, right? And what is the strategy? Divide and conquer, because we are not talking to each other. Well, we want to do just the opposite. Because do you remember what happened during COVID? And you couldn't get toilet paper, and the grocery store shelves were bare, right? Well, that was a little snicker snack of what we have coming up. So how about creating that community, going to a community garden or going to a farmer's market, getting to know the people that grow your food, so that when something like that happens, give them a day or two of your work. I guarantee you there's always work to be done on a farm, but that's all part of it, right? It isn't just about gold and silver. And so when you talk about TV, or you talk about other gold companies, all they want to do is they want to sell you a product. What we do is we have a strategy that's based on studies that I've done since 1987 on currencies and currency life cycles.
And what I love about her is that it's not about you coming in and making sure that you have this big, huge amount. It's about, let's learn this, let's educate it. Once you really understand it, buy one silver or gold dollar, that's it. You're not expected to go in there and buy all of this. And that's what's really nice. Anybody that's listening right now, please, I implore you to get interested in this and make sure that you're taken care of. I think it's really scary when you think about the fact that if your bank has your money and now the bank closed, right? Or there's a buyout or something like that. Now what do?
I'm not even so worried about those pieces. I'm worried about a run on the bank, and then the bank shuts it down and bails in your money, which is absolutely legal and tested, right? And then, and even if they honor the insurance, which was tested in Cyprus, You have no access to it. You have a minimum amount that you can pull out on a daily basis. How are you gonna feed your family?
How are you gonna live?
Exactly. How are you gonna pay your bills? How are you gonna feed your family? You know, what we have coming forward, and anybody that's experienced this high inflation, just wait. That's coming back again. And by the way, this past week, do you know that consumer confidence hit the second lowest level on record? And that was going back to the 80s, when shortly after we went off the gold standard as we were transitioning into the debt standard, which that debt bubble has already popped.
You know, when you listen to this, it's not listen, I know it's scary. And we don't want you to be running off and, oh my God, you know, the sky is falling.
It's also an opportunity.
It is, it's an opportunity, especially since you can do this slowly, not really huge, starts off small. If you've got it all and all the money in the world and you want to come in and do that, that's great too. But to be able to be protected and having and understanding what sound money is and why you need it. Now, the other thing that I want to do when we come back, because we're going to do an extra little time here with you, is that I want you to tell us a little story about you and your story about why you personally do buy only what is it?
1933.
1933. And we're going to learn a little bit more about that. So, and I know there's a lot of people out there that listen that have collections, you know.
Oh, that's good.
You might want to even have them looked at and see what they're really truly worth and what they are there. So what you want to do is first call them and have that consultation with them. The number to call is 480-376-7456. Make a purchase with them, and guess what? You're going to earn yourself an extra silver round. It's an actual Zang round, and it's a 1 ounce round. What would you say for everybody to listen to just before we leave and go on break? What do you want to say to them?
Don't procrastinate. Get educated ASAP. Telling you.
The one word that I wrote down that I was going to talk about first that I never did was a paradigm shift. And let me tell you, folks, if you don't know what that is, look it up, because everybody really needs to understand what that is. And what we think about this is really what you think about money is just not right. And you have to learn something completely different, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why we've got our lines open here for everyone to be able to, maybe you call in here and get yourself some education from Lynn. Also, the other thing that I would also like you to do is call them, have that consultation, make a purchase with them, because you're going to be so happy that you did. Again, that phone number to call, it's 480-376-7456. Check her out on the website. It is LynetteZang.com. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk further. I promise you, they do free consultations. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. You'll check them out. You're going to be happy that you did it. The number is 480-376-7456. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. I hope I'm doing okay.
You're doing great.
Okay. The story that I want you to talk about, okay? First of all, I want to know, all those years and years ago when you were 10, were you first just interested, let's say, in collecting? I mean, what got you interested in this in the first place?
Wow, honestly, this is all a universal occurrence, right? And my uncle was a major, I'm going to tell this story, this is a story, but it really is what got me into it.
It's okay,
First
just
of all,
Facebook get to hear you.
Okay, well, so they want to hear it twice, okay.
That's okay.
But first of all, I knew that I was supposed to do something that had a positive impact on a lot of people when I was born. And then when you know these things, then the universe sort of puts you in a position to learn the things and have the hard lessons as well that you need to get that. But my uncle was a major antique dealer back east, and he was my favorite uncle and I was his favorite niece, and we were very, very close. So he's actually the one that taught me how hard assets, so tangible assets, move from undervaluation to fair valuation to overvaluation to fair valuation to under, and it's a constant figure eight. It's a constant infinity loop. And the key is to buy good